Guys, this video right here, it's all about me. If you don't want to hear about me, just get on out of here. Just shut it down and move on. This one's all about me. Oh, yeah. Just hang with me, folks. I'll make it painless. But all these videos aren't just for you. They're for other people as well. Oh, yeah. When I was somewhere between the ages of 22 and 23, I landed after a long ass bus ride in Arizona, Mesa, Arizona. By this time, folks, I want you to understand I've lived in 5 states. I ain't lying to you. It's all public record. Now I'm going to go back a little ways. My wife's pulling in. She's probably going to start texting me and messing this video up. By 11 years old, I had been riding mini bikes and go-karts for 8 years. By 14 years old, I could drive manual shift and automatic shift vehicles of all kinds. Trucks, motorcycles, or whatever. As a matter of fact, my very first, I rode mini bikes and go-karts that had no suspensions on them for a long time when I was a kid, folks. First guy I run into, he had a Honda 70. The handlebars, you could crank on these knobs and fold the handlebars down, be able to stick it inside your car if you needed to. If you didn't have a truck or something to put it in, or a van, you could fold these handlebars down, shit, get this. I was overriding my mini bike, and this guy shows up on this Honda 70. This thing's got gears and a suspension. Oh, he let me ride it. I was like, well, this isn't even fair. I'm riding this hardtail shit. I didn't even have front shocks. And I'm still jumping over the same dirt piles and everything he is. But somewhere between the age of about 11 and 14, I still can't remember exactly when, probably closer to 14. My first dirt bike, or it was a enduro. It was made for road and off-roading. But it was a Chaparral 100. My parents told me I would never own a motorcycle. I rode this thing home. It was a Chaparral 100. It was made by Indian. And it was an enduro motorcycle. You could plate it, but I didn't even have a driver's license. I wasn't old enough to have a driver's license at the time, so. But it had turn signals and headlights and shit on it, though, folks. And I did ride it to my job as a kid without a license. I still rode it because a lot of cornfields, I could just be right off by the corn, running up by the roads, They couldn't say nothing, If there wasn't nobody around, I was on the road and wide open. But let's see, yeah, by the age of 14, I could drive. Yeah, I was driving tractors. We were at dump trucks, playing around with semis on farms and stuff. But I could drive I could drive any car, even if now, folks, when I say manual shift, most of the cars I'm talking about when I started learning how to drive with manual shift, they weren't on the floor. They were on the steering column, and you would first gear would be down here, second would be up, and you'd bring it down for third. And reverse would, hell, I can't even remember. It's been so long since I'd driven a column shift. But a lot of them guys, they moved that. If they had a column shift, they move it down to the floor because it was stupid. But that's the way it was, folks. That's the way they came first. And we even had push button transmissions in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. Maybe even farther back than that. They had push button transmissions. And I had friends that we drove them as well. And we would even run through the gears pushing the buttons just to see if it worked. And it did, folks. But by the time I was 16 years old, folks, and I've told this story, actually, by the time I was 16 years old and one day, 24 hours, I picked up my driver's license at somewhere around 8 o'clock 7 or 8 o'clock, whatever time that driver's license branch opened up. I picked up my driver's license, and on the day I turned 16, I had my permit and all that, did driver's ed, all that. All I had to do was wait until that day. I rode my bicycle down. They gave me my driver's license. I rode my bicycle back home, and there was a car that my mom and dad had bought that they said was mine and my sister's to use. Well, she was a year and a half older than me, so she'd been driving this car like it was her own for a while. Well, when I got my license, came home, said, "Hey, come on, man, I got my driver's license. I've done everything they said. They gave it to me. It's our car, me and my sister's car. My parents said that. So they gave me the keys. And some say 16 hours, some say 22 or something. I had the car totaled in reverse in the same parking lot of the same mall that just had that big Greenwood, Indiana shooting. That same mall, in that parking lot, I totaled that car in reverse, hitting a light pole. Because them light poles, they got about 5 feet of concrete, reinforced concrete, steel, and all this shit. A tank might take one of them out, but not a rusted out old 1968 Plymouth Fury. Ain't going to that right now. That ain't going to take it up. Keep hearing motor start and shit. The reason why I'm talking about this stuff is it was like right after that accident that I just told you about, where I slammed that car in reverse, probably at 35, 40 mile an hour, and hit that light pole. It was like boom. And as I'm waking up, I'm 60 years old. Now, as I'm going through this, it seems like it's a long time. All these years and stuff seemed like it was a long time. But when a time comes where you sit down and actually think about it and try to remember half the shit that you went through in that 50 years, 45 years, it's not there. There's a lot of things you won't remember. You can't remember. My wife and kids still say, "Don't you remember?" And I'm going, no, I don't remember that, you know. It really does seem like a blink of an eye. This is why I'm trying to talk to you the younger group, the younger crowd, the younger hip people. uh, I joke with my wife all the time. I've got about a year and a half on her. She was just sitting there looking at me just I think it was yesterday or the day before. And she goes, "Can you believe this year's almost over?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "The time's going by so fast." "You're catching up with me." I said, "Your time's even moving faster because she's a smaller person." I joke with her. About people, I'm 5'7", she's 4'11". I couldn't marry nobody any taller than 4'11". I gotta feel like a hell, man. My back's so screwed up, my shoulders so fucked up. I'm so bent over, we're almost the same damn height anymore. And that's what's funny. My mom and dad wound up at the same exact height. They could almost wear the exact same clothing. They were almost the same exact size people. I ain't lying to you. They really were. I can show you pictures. I can show you pictures. God loves you guys. I love you. Life's it's moving by fast. And you're never promised tomorrow, folks. This is what I got to get in your heads. I'm lucky. From the things I've done, I'm lucky to be sitting here right now. Not even counting my health problems. Just some of the things, my ignorance. Well, I don't think it was I had fun doing it, and I would do it again. Let's just put it like that. But it is kind of, you only get one life, people, and if you're not enjoying it, if you're not pushing it a little bit, then you didn't even take a chance. Well, I pushed it, okay? And I'll admit that. And my body, and I seen it in the video I showed you guys turning my Jeep around and shit. And when I saw myself walking out there, I was like, "Who's that old man? He can't even stand up straight." My wife goes, "I've been trying to tell you for 10 years. But you guys, God loves you. I love you. Please seek Jesus' path. Don't worry about anything else I say other than that. That's the only thing that can do you any good. Anything else I tell you ain't nothing but whether it's going to help you or not. It may or may not. But the one thing I want you that can help you is Jesus Christ. Follow what he did, and you will find the Father. Till the next one, love you.